Welcome!
Welcome back to Combination.
Yay! If you're here for
Yay.
the first time, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back!
Thanks for joining us again.
You know, we're so glad you're here.
We
And
are.
while you're here, if you want to give us a like or a follow or whatnot,
or a tweet, or ring a bell,
or tweet,
click
or
link.
heart, or subscribe, or join our mailing list, or any of that stuff, all of that is good. Leave a comment, send an email, let us know what we're doing well and what we're doing what we're not doing well, where we could improve, where we could make your life better and be a better contribution to you.
Absolutely.
Tonight, we are talking about Hellboy.
Give him hell, boy.
A heck of a time to talk about Hellboy.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you're joining us live on Tuesdays, and I hope you are, please go to Crowd, this is the website, crowd.live, and then plug in the
LTAOP, or just scan the barcode.
Yep. Exactly.
Ding.
And all of that would be good.
Yeah. And play along. Multiple choice.
Yeah. But if you're not joining us live, there's still fun.
Yes.
So let's get started.
Still test your knowledge. Still learn some things.
Exactly. And learn some things and hear lots of bad jokes. Now, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Where was Hellboy's first published appearance?
Dun, dun, dun. It was in a San Diego Comic-Con comic. Say that 5 times fast.
So yeah, when you go to a Comic-Con and you pay you pay for the ticket, etc., and they give you a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
A bit of Baltimore always gives you a yearbook, and Baltimore's yearbook has always had stuff that's new and unique from creators. It's been created specifically for this. San Diego does a similar thing. Yes. And you never know what's in it. So take a look and keep a hold of when you go to the Comic-Con because,
sometimes
it's really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Todd, for no additional points, do you remember when San Diego Comic-Con introduced Hellboy?
That was back in 1993.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Sorry.
Anyway.
But
Hellboy, Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
How many live action Hellboy have been released? Live action released. Todd, tell me.
That would be 3. We're not in the 7 circles yet, but we're getting there.
The Crooked Man you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, both starred Ron Perlman, and they came out in 2004 and 2008.
Yes.
And then in 2019, there was another movie just called Hellboy, and that one starred David Harbour, who you may remember from, he was in the Black Widow movie as Black Widow's dad.
Red Guardian. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
The sheriff on Stranger Things.
He's on some stuff.
Yep.
And then next year,
it's
expected to release Hellboy the Crooked Man, starring Jack Kesey.
Right.
And this is not counting the directed DVD films, animated films, the video games, any of the other things.
Yeah, places he's just showed up.
Exactly. We're talking about the live action. At least. Now, Hellboy, he has a real name.
And it's not Hellboy.
It's not Hellboy. No. That's what everybody calls him. What's his real name, Todd?
Anong Unrama.
Yes. I know. That was, the kids in 3rd grade probably had fun with that. What does his name mean?
It means, and upon his brow is set a crown of flame. Which is even harder to say than Anong Ra. Yeah. But it's got a nice ring to it, or crown of flame to it.
All right, moving on. Hellboy's right hand, this one, is made of what?
It's made of stone. Although you
Correct.
think fire would be a appropriate thing, but it's actually stone.
There's a little bit of a story. His right hand and his left hand are very much different. We will explain a little bit in a little bit, but not right now.
Oh, yeah, he kind of looks like a devil.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And the right hand has a name because, of course, it does.
Of course it does.
The right hand is called what?
The right hand of doom. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, the right hand of doom. The right hand of doom. So here's what happened. Hellboy's born, and he's half demon, half not so much demon. Right. And his father, who was a demon, decided shortly after the kid was born to cut the right hand of doom from another creature and graft it onto Hellboy. You know.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. That's fun.
Just what I always wanted for Christmas.
Speaking of the father, what's his name? This evil dad. Todd?
Well, you would think Anakin because that would almost fit, but no, it's Azil.
So, in Hellboy continuity, Azil is the demon father of Hellboy and one of the Dukes of Hell, and he sort of rules the House of the Fly. By the way, in the Bible, there's a character, not Azil, but Azazel. So just take that, put an extra A between the Z's, and that's what that's the name. And I think that creature may have inspired Mignola and Byrne too, with this father. Both are fallen angels. In the Bible, there's reference to the fact that Azazel rebelled and was cast out.
Went along with that rebellion by that other fallen angel.
At least he has somebody to hang out with.
Yeah.
Play trivia with.
Sure.
Graft kids' hands, cut their kids' arms off and graft them with something else. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hellboy's mother is
Sarah Hughes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Although he probably would have done way better with Sarah Connor as his mom. Sarah Hughes was a witch. Now, in the back in the time of witches, in the 1400s, 1500s, etc., when they truly believed witches existed,
right?
The way that was thought that witches would get their power would be worshiping devils and demons, and then the demons would gift them with power. And this is apparently what happened to Sarah. She is a witch from a long, long line of witches. It's really interesting a little bit to dig into that, and we advise you to read the book and maybe dig into a little bit of that. But but his mother was Sarah Hughes.
Yeah, there aren't many witches these days, except my ex-wife.
She had a great magic trip. She made all your money disappear.
Yep.
Hellboy was summoned to Earth by
a mad monk named Grigory Rasputin.
Correct. Now again, Grigory Rasputin was a real person.
Yes.
You've probably heard of him. He's been portrayed more times than I can think of in
Movies galore.
movies. Yeah, exactly. But he was, at the core of it, he was a Russian mystic and holy man.
Yeah.
His father was also a mystic and a holy man, and Rasputin had a unique relationship with the last imperial family of Russia.
Yeah. You ever watched the movie Anastasia? There's one interpretation.
And Rasputin is evil. The Mad Monk is evil.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
So, Rasputin, he's summoning Hellboy to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And where does Hellboy appear? Todd?
Let me think. Which side of Bromwich is it? It's to the east. It's East Bromwich. As opposed to my
Okay, so the only Bromwich that truly exists is West Bromwich.
Right.
And to be clear, there was a little bit, something happened because this was not where Hellboy was expected. Okay? So, suffice it to say, if you're reading something and it says Hellboy appeared in Scotland, not exactly. Scotland and England, two different countries, different
birds. Yep.
And who knows? In other stories, other stories this might have been retconned, but in this one, he's in East Bromwich.
Uh-huh.
And when he appeared,
yes,
who was waiting for him?
Well, that would be Trevor Brutenholm.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Now, in continuity, Trevor Brutenholm, he was an advisor to U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt during World War II.
Yes.
It's, again, Hellboy continuity talks about the fact that Adolf Hitler, Nazis are bad.
Yeah, hate those guys.
Hitler, yeah. Adolf Hitler really did have a huge interest in the occult, in mysticism, in all of that. So it completely, tracks. Exactly. Again, Indiana Jones talked about it. Captain America a little bit talked about it. The Avengers movies,
Yeah.
It was a thing.
What's the thing? Adolf was nuts for it.
But, well, Adolf was nuts. Nazis are bad!
Yes.
But anyway, Trevor Brutenholm pretty much raised Hellboy and was played in the first two movies by John Hurt.
Yep. And then by Ian McShane.
And I don't know who's playing him in the upcoming movie, but all I'm saying is Todd is available for work.
Yeah, I could raise another Hellspawn. Shouldn't say that. My child's an adorable thing.
Hellspawn. Okay, Hellboy works for the BPRD, which stands for?
The Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense.
Correct.
Yes.
Now, Trevor Brutenholm founded the BPRD in 1945.
To stop those crazy occult Nazis.
But it's research and defense. So there's
Yes.
researching, they investigate, and if they need to, they defend.
Yeah.
And Hellboy is one of the agents of the BPRD, but not the only one.
Nope.
So one of his colleagues in the BPRD is
Liz Sherman. Liz. Yeah. Elizabeth.
now Elizabeth Sherman is Liz to her friends. She's the pyrokinetic. She's the one who could start fires. And in the first two movies, she was played by Selma Blair. I don't think she was in the third.
No, I don't think they
But,
have. Yeah.
But in the movies, she's essentially, she grew up with Hellboy and he's in love with her.
Yeah.
And that's great. But in comic continuity, they're just friends.
Right.
So whatever happened to, in the movies, she's pregnant with twins. In the comics, no.
They take the book and they make some changes for the movie. Some are good, some maybe not. It happens. This is why you should read the book.
I think it was, well, you should also read the book because,
Yes.
you can find out much more about the characters.
Yes.
And that's always interesting. You can find out more about Liz Sherman and some of the other ones. For instance, you can find out where Liz Sherman was born. Where was she born?
In Kansas. Not quite over the rainbow.
Yup.
Yep.
Can you imagine, born and raised in this very normal place of Kansas, and all of a sudden you're burning stuff down.
Yep. You end up at the BPRD Institute.
There you go.
Not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Now, and one of the other agents of the is Abe Sapien. And Abe Sapien's real name is what?
Langdon Call.
Correct. Now, again, there's a complex backstory to Abe Sapien that the movies didn't even touch. Abe Sapien actually has some of his own books, some of his own titles. If you are in any way intrigued by the character, go read the book. It's cool. In the movies, however, he was nicely played. Doug Jones was the actor who portrayed him. And in the first movie, David Hyde Pierce voiced him, but didn't take any credit because he wanted Doug Jones to get the full credit of being the character.
Right.
And I think Doug Jones from that movie on, basically in every adaptation, has voiced or acted Abe Sapien.
Yeah. The whole thing.
But again, don't know who's doing it in the new movie. Maybe Abe's not there.
He could be out doing his own movie.
Again, Todd's available to play the role. And finally, in Seed of Destruction, Hellboy fights what?
Frogs.
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 Frogs are one of the 10 plagues or the 7 plagues, depending on what you're referring. Frogs.
Yes, frogs.
I don't. Okay. I mean, they're perfectly lovely. But not when there's a million of them.
One or two of them. When you have 10,000, that's a different story.
When you have 10,000 demonic, evil frogs, it's a little problematic.
Yes.
So again,
not to be a
tonight we were talking. Not to be a toady. Again, tonight, Seed of Destruction, Hellboy. It's the nice part about it is the Seed of Destruction. What we're pointing to, it collects a bunch of stories, puts them in order, and The story jumps from Hellboy's mysterious World War II origin to his 1994 confrontation with a man who summoned him to Earth, and the earliest signs of the plague of
frogs.
So there were basically 3 folks behind this Hellboy book. There is Mike Mignola, who's incredibly talented, fabulous art.
Came up with the story.
Yep. There's John Byrne, who helped with the plotting and some of the writing and probably none of the art. And then there's Mark Chiarello, who did the colors. Oh my God. He is such Mark Chiarello. Look him up. His stuff is gorgeous. He is the most incredibly talented painter and quite a snappy dresser.
All
right.
Very good design sense.
So let me push the button to show the
winners are.
There we go. So the winners. Again, thanks for coming out tonight. Send us a like, send us a follow, send us a this, send us a that. Let us know. We're here for you. What do you want to see? What are we doing well? What are we not doing well? What could we do better?
What books do you like?
Yeah. And let us know.
Absolutely.
And above all,
read more comics.
Exactly.
And stay away from the Nazis and frogs.
Nazis are bad.